Perfect.
Real quick, I know before we get up out of here, I want to ask you. Actually, let's take it to my favorite segment. It's called "Have You Heard?" There were like a couple headlines that I thought, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to pull up and just get your opinion on it. One of them that's stuck out to me was we got a female governor here. Her name is Governor Hochul in New York, and we have a black mayor in New York City, Mayor Adams, and I don't know if they get along with each other. I mean, it seemed like they have been getting along with each other, but this past week she wrote a letter saying that the New York City isn't taking isn't taking state aid to deal with the migrant situation, where a certain amount of money has been put aside, and New York City just hasn't used those resources. They've turned down things, and Mayor Adams has responded with a few of these things. But I think one of the things that really brought it to a head was there was a picture of migrants sleeping outside of a shelter in the Roosevelt Hotel. That really, once that hit the press, that was something that felt like, oh, all right, now she got to write her letter, and now, you know, I mean, he has to respond, and who knows where the truth lies, and going back and forth with that. That's not really what I want to talk to, but what's happening now in New York, and even where I stay in upstate New York, is the migrant situation is here. Like there's a motel that's been cleared out for migrants, you know what I mean, that are here. Did you encounter any, like, I'm assuming there's a migrant population within where you stay because you're in Arizona. But it was something that I think that we as New Yorkers, and I can only speak for us, but also like other states, I imagine, that aren't border states like that, we just didn't have the sensitivity for it. And I don't really, these are people, so I can't say I respect the move of Republican governors and leaders shipping these people to what's known as sanctuary states or sanctuary cities, because these are people. They're not monopoly board pieces and things of that nature. But what I will say that it has done is brought the issue front and center right in our face, because people are willing to protest and say, not in my neighborhood, or we don't want this here. But you weren't making all that noise when you guys out there in Arizona were saying the same thing. Or whatever, you know, wherever you fall on the battle, we weren't having the sensitivity for what was happening. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just something like how do you feel about the whole situation? Because I'm a child of an immigrant. You're a child of an immigrant, right? You were born here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? So we're first generation Americans, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we understand that maybe with a certain sensitivity that people come here and, you know, begin their life over for their children, to make better for their children. Whereas I think, you know, obviously there's some people here who aren't for it, who don't realize that they were immigrants at one time or another. But I guess where do you fall on the issue? Because I do think this is going to be a hot button issue in the next election coming up.
Well, first off, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Because that's wild.
You didn't know that they were coming to New York?
No, I didn't hear that was an issue in New York.
Like, really?
Yeah, such a melting pot. Like, you would think that they would establish something for migrants to that.
I think it's because of the number. They've gotten a lot since, I think it's been started since last spring. I just think they weren't prepared for it because they just started showing up. I believe like they were sending migrants to like Kamala Harris's address, you know what I'm saying, just to like put it on her front door, you know what I'm saying. So, but there was no, the resources might be there, but there was no preparation to have them ready. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like just in the same way. But yeah, no, it's something that, even like I said, I'm in upstate New York. I'm not in a big city at all. And they've been shipped here, for lack of a better term. And some people aren't happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you know what I'm saying, have comments to say. Some people protest. Some people are not with it.
But that's nothing new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my immigrants always got shit when they came to the US.
True.
Like, as a Haitian person in New York City, you know the type of hate that Haitians receive from other Black people,
especially in like the early '90s and shit like that.
Yeah. So it's always been around. I guess now it's being thrown in the city's face. So now everybody is like, it's a I don't know how to word it, but it's like now everybody's aware that immigrants are coming. Before, you just knew your neighbor was an immigrant because of their accent or the person at the store or whatever the case may be. But now it's the forefront, and we all are involved in this facility.
100%.
But I feel like they need to get on it. If they got the money to do something to help these people, they need to get on it. Like there's no excuse. Like you can put someone on this task to at least set it up, and then when you feel like the city has time or the state has time, address it. But for you to do nothing, like that's no bueno.
Yeah, like it's and they don't know if Mayor Adams or the powers that be in New York City wanted, the migrants to be outside because it's a way to ask for more federal aid. It's a way to say, make it look like more of a crisis than it might be. Whereas I guess Hochul's trying to protect her ass and be like, yo, I gave y'all the resources. Don't act like y'all out here struggling. Like y'all turn shit down. You know what I mean? So
it's gonna get messier.
Yeah, it definitely will, especially as the political season heats up. And something that you said on with just Haitians in like the early 90s. We mentioned Wyclef earlier just being an influence of music, but I think he really changed the way Haitians were viewed in this country just because of him just being such a superstar. The Fugees, I say the Fugees as a whole, it really was something that but Wyclef just, waved the flag and, took it all over the world. So yeah, definitely, I think it's an immigrant nation. Like the entire, everybody came here at some point, well, whether boat, plane, or swimming. So it's like you do have to have a certain sensitivity for people. But I do see the other side of it. Like, we giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. There's people here that don't know where their next meal coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like even, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a wildfire in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? And all that. And they getting $700 checks, you know what I'm saying? For aid from FEMA. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they're real picky and choosy where that money's going. And so to be somebody that lives here and works here, you know what I mean? Luckily, I'm not in that situation, but there are people that don't know where their next meal is coming from, their next check is coming from. And I can see why other people being let in, receiving certain assistance might make them feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? There's two sides to every coin. And like I said, I don't commend or condemn what leaders in border states did by shipping migrants out, because it did make it, I don't think as a New Yorker, I'd be talking about this issue if it wasn't front and center. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was a way to be like, yo, y'all wasn't having sensitivity to what's going on. Like, what up?
No, that's a good point. Seeing it and the way you explain the other side. Like, yeah, let's fix home first. Like, bye.
Yeah. That's a whole nother discussion, man. Perfect Talk is what it do, man. Thank you for checking out this Perfect Talk short clip. But go check out the full episodes right there on the YouTube channel, man. Subscribe, hit that like button.